I kicked up a call that wasn't meant for me. That single phone call lasted less than 5 seconds, but it completely changed the way I see my family. This happened a few months ago. My dad had left his phone at home while he was out running errands. Nothing unusual about that. He was always forgetting things. His keys, his wallet, sometimes even his phone. A couple of hours after he left, his phone started ringing. At first, nobody paid much attention to it. Then it rang again, and again, and again. Every call was from the exact same number. My mom was sitting in the living room trying to watch TV, and by the fourth call, she was visibly annoyed. "Just answer it," she said. "If they're calling that many times, it must be important." I grabbed the phone from the kitchen counter and answered. I didn't even get the chance to say hello. The second I picked up, a woman started talking. Not cautiously, not like someone calling a stranger. She sounded like she was continuing a conversation she'd already been having. "Why are you ignoring me again?" she snapped. "Are you still with her?" I froze. For a second, I genuinely thought I'd misheard her. Before I could say anything, she continued. "You promised me you were going to tell her soon." My stomach dropped. Immediately, I knew something wasn't right. The way she said it, the frustration in her voice, the familiarity. It sounded less like a phone call and more like an argument between two people who knew each other very well. Finally, I managed to speak. This isn't him." Silence. Complete silence. For about 3 seconds, neither of us said anything. Then the line went dead. She hung up. I stood there staring at the phone. My heart was racing. Maybe there was an innocent explanation. Maybe I was misunderstanding what she'd meant. Maybe, what happened? My mom's voice interrupted my thoughts. She had been watching me the entire time. I guess my expression gave me away. "Nothing," I said. "A terrible lie. One of those lies that sounds fake the moment it leaves your mouth." She narrowed her eyes. "Who was it?" "No one." "What did they say?" I shrugged. She kept asking. I kept avoiding. Eventually, she got frustrated. "Tell me." So I did. Word for word. The moment I repeated the sentence, "Are you still with her?" I watched the color drain from my mom's face. She didn't react immediately. In fact, that was the weirdest part. She just sat there, quiet, staring at nothing, like she was replaying the words in her head. Then she asked one question. "What was the number?" I handed her the phone. The rest of the day felt strange. Nobody talked much. My mom spent a lot of time looking at her own phone. My dad eventually came home and acted completely normal. At least at first. Dinner was quiet, unusually quiet. I remember thinking maybe I'd blown the whole thing out of proportion. Maybe there really was an explanation. Maybe it was a misunderstanding. Then later that night, the shouting started. I was upstairs when I heard it. Not loud enough to make out every word, but loud enough to know exactly what was happening. The argument went on for hours. Voices raised, doors slammed, long stretches of silence followed by more yelling. At one point, I heard my dad say something that honestly made everything feel worse. "It's not what you think." I don't know why, but hearing that phrase immediately convinced me that it was exactly what my mom thought, because nobody ever says that when things are innocent. The next morning, the house felt different. The kind of different you notice immediately. Nobody was yelling anymore, but nobody was talking much either. The warmth was gone. The casual conversations, the little jokes, the normal family routine. Everything felt tense, like everyone was pretending things were okay while knowing they weren't. Over the following weeks, bits and pieces of the truth started surfacing. Not because anyone sat me down and explained it. They never did. I just overheard things, caught fragments of conversations, put together clues. Apparently, the woman wasn't a random caller. My dad knew her, had known her for a while. How long? I still don't know. Months, maybe longer. Even now, I don't know the full story, and honestly, maybe I never will. My parents never really discussed it in front of me after that night. It's like an invisible wall appeared around the topic. Everyone knew it existed. Nobody wanted to touch it. The strange thing is that they never separated. They're still together, still living in the same house, still technically married, but things aren't the same. You can feel it. Conversations are shorter, smiles seem forced, family dinners feel more like obligations than something anyone enjoys. It's as if that phone call didn't destroy the family. It just exposed cracks that had already been there. Before all of this happened, I thought my parents had one of those relationships that would last forever. The stable kind, the kind that other families envied, the kind that didn't have secrets. I was wrong. The craziest part is how random it all was. Years of secrets, years of lies, years of carefully hiding whatever was going on, and it all unraveled because someone forgot their phone at home. Sometimes I think about how close the truth came to staying buried. If my dad had remembered his phone, I never would have answered. If that woman had waited another hour, none of us would have known. If I'd ignored the call, everything might have stayed exactly the same, or at least it would have looked the same. Instead, one phone call changed everything. 5 seconds, that's all it took. 5 seconds to turn my family into something I barely recognize anymore.